Salutations from space and aloha from Earth, friends. This is Gemini Brett with Backyard Astronomy, or in this case, Upstairs Window Astronomy, on Wednesday, miércoles, Mercury's Day, January 25th, 2023. And actually, Mercury is the only visible planet that cannot be seen in the clear California skies at this time. Mercury is a morning star, so I'm going to have to wake up before the light to try to catch the trickster. You can see the very bright evening star, Venus here, as bright as the plane that's just flying overhead. Down right above Mount Tamalpais is Saturn here. Saturn about to set. It's amazing. Venus conjoined Saturn just a few days ago, and she's just kind of flying past, making her way for tropical Pisces. She's in the last degrees of tropical Aquarius in this moment. I'm looking at a chart now, 28 degrees 46 arc minutes Aquarius. So tomorrow she'll be in Pisces around this time. So we find Moon up here with Jupiter, and this is what they call the ringlet. It's one of the head of the fishes of the sky. So the tail of the sea monster Cetus below them. They're in their first degrees of tropical Aries. And Moon is conjoined Jupiter, but passing beneath Jupiter in the northern hemisphere skies, and globally speaking south of Jupiter, because Moon's north node is currently in Taurus up here. So until she gets to the north node, where she passes the ecliptic from the south to the north, she will be south of the ecliptic plane. Jupiter is also south of the ecliptic right now, but much less so. So I'm out here trying to see which zodiac stars I notice in the sunset west. And the sun set ago, and I've been engaging without the camera on. I took a few stills, but I really want to connect naked eye. It's one of the ways that we can try to estimate where in the zodiac the sun is at any given time, and we can't see the stars that host the sun's travel. We'll go blind. The stars hide beneath the sun's bright beams. But if we can see the first stars that appear in the sunset west, this is where the sun will go next. Okay, like Venus tomorrow will be further along, and the moon's going to be off the screen. Not too long from now, she will conjoin Mars, who's like up this way. I can't show you Mars right now because of the roof. But the sun moves 1 degree per day through the constellations and the signs. That zodiacal order is from the west to the east. The daily motion, east to the west, rising in the east, setting in the west. The yearly motion for the sun, west to east, 1 degree per day this way, right? So as the sun gets to these stars here, they will disappear under the sun's beams. So when I look at the stars that kind of first show, the ecliptic stars that first show in the sunset west, I know that that's where the sun will be next. If I look at the last stars I can see in the sunrise east, like on the eastern horizon before the sun rises, well, those are the stars where the sun last was, right? So if I can wake up before sunrise, see the last stars in the morning sky on the eastern horizon before sunrise, that's where the sun was. If I can see the first stars that show up after sunset, that's where the sun will be next, and I can safely assume that the sun is in between. So we're looking at a bunch of stars of the water bearer. We're also looking at a plane heading right over Venus right now. But there's a star not so far away that I'll draw your attention to. Kind of hard to see, and this game is easier in some seasons than others because there are areas of the star where the sky where the ecliptic stars are just much brighter. It's like, hard to even point out water bearer stars sometimes. This is one of them. I mean, granted, look, the camera is just pointing at the Chevron refinery. You probably see all this bright stuff here on the left. That's like high school football field lights, right? So I'm not in the best place to engage with this exercise. But stars that I recognize, this shape right here, do you see how that's kind of like a bit of the Aquarius glyph? And those are actually stars of the water bearers. So the brightest one, let me point to it, is Sodom Malik. This is like, many draw it as the bucket of the water bearer, and he's pouring water down this way. Sodom Malik is like typically shown as the water bearer's eye. And then there's a star much closer to the ecliptic plane called Ancha, and another one called Hydor. I want to see if I can show you those. It's so hard because like a lot of what I'm seeing are planes. So I look like away from the camera and I'm actually seeing less stars. This camera's eye's better than mine. And then I put my eye to the camera and everything changes. Okay, so here's Venus. Here's Sodom Malik, so like kind of eye of the water bearer. That is a plane. You're trying to trick me. And actually I can't see Ancha. It would be about here. This is Hydor. So Hydor in our day and age is around 10 degrees tropical Pisces, which means that I can't show this on the camera. Well, I mean, I can try, but I have no idea if you can see it or not. But if I extend my arm and then like hold a fist at arm's length, and I put my my pointer knuckle, if you will, to Venus, I will find Ancha on the pinky knuckle, because the fist at arm's length is about 10 degrees. Venus is at like 29 Aquarius. Ancha's like 10 tropical Pisces, so they're separated by about 10 degrees, so they're separated by my fist. And actually doing that helps me see Ancha in the sky with my naked eye. Or sorry, I keep saying Ancha, but it's actually Hydor. That's at like 10 degrees tropical Pisces. So, I mean, it's just like super tricky to see, but Hydor is this star here. Can you see how that's on the ecliptic plane? Where like if I draw this curve from Venus here to Jupiter, and at this side of the ecliptic sets very straight like this, right? But I know that Venus and Jupiter and the moon are going to stay close to the ecliptic plane. So the stars between the two are ecliptic stars. And this for me is, I mean, natally, it's a very important star for me. It was at the nonagesimal when I was born, squaring my ascendant, descendant. But it's also, it's a star that the water bearer, like here's the bucket, he's pouring the water stream down through Hydor. So it's a really cool star to know. And he pours it onto Famolo, the eye of the southern fish, well below. But that is, I think, currently behind that peak. Yeah, it's like Famolo somewhere here under behind the hill. All right, so yeah, I mean, the first star that I can really identify, like Zodiac constellation stars, with my naked eye, and it's getting a lot harder right now, like the sky's starting to haze, is Sodom Malik in this kind of Aquarius glyph shape, and then Hydor. Right, now Hydor, again, is like 10 degrees from Venus. It's much further from the sun, which is already well below. But I can see that the sun is heading for the water bearer. And if I wake up before the sun tomorrow, I'm going to see the last visible stars in the eastern horizon. will be stars of the Archer. And then I could safely assume the truth that at this time the sun is currently traveling through the stars of the sea goat. The sun is currently aligned to the goat's horns. I was seeing the goat's tail super clearly just days ago, but already the sun is taking them under the beams. So it's an amazing thing to, when stars in sky allow us to watch the setting stars after sunset, see which stars you can first recognize on the ecliptic plane, know that that's where the sun is going next. This is one of the ways where we can project or estimate where the sun is in the zodiac constellations at any given time. Eyes to the sky. See you in space, friends.